of Roommate Recorder. I'm so very glad you're back to learn with us. My 3 wonderful students are here, and they're ready to keep learning.
Yeah.
Even on a rainy day, the recorder is still there for you, right? Emily was mentioning that her recorder didn't feel warmed up, and she said maybe it's the rain. That's actually probably true, right? The weather will affect your instrument. It affects stringed instruments. It affects all kinds of instruments. So one trick you can do if you want is you can actually stick your recorder under your armpit and warm it up. It might smell like your armpit, but at least it'll play nicely. Okay, so we're going to start today with hot cross buns. Last week, my students got their what?
White belts.
They got their white belts. They earned it because they played hot cross buns so beautifully. So I thought today we could try it with the ukulele. So I'm going to play a little accompaniment to go along with their song. And I'm going to be playing 2 chords, okay? So I'm going to play first a G chord. And then I'm going to switch to a D chord, back and forth from G to D. So you could do this on ukulele, on piano, guitar, anything that plays chords. So are you guys ready?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I love that attitude. Okay, so I'm going to count you in with a pretty fast, steady beat. Remember, it's 2 beats for a half note, right? So hot. And hopefully you're playing along with us at home. You ready, guys?
Ready.
1, 2, here we go. Playing together, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
All right, so I'm going to put my ukulele down now, and this week we're going to be working on our yellow belt song. It's called Gently Sleep, the classic lullaby. Did anyone know this song before they started playing the recorder?
No, I didn't.
I guessed that you didn't because it's not a popular song. I think it was written for recorder karate. So my students are going to be honest now and tell you, did you practice your recorder this week?
No.
No, they didn't. Now they can't get in
No, we
trouble
did not.
because this is enrichment only. This is not state required. But of course, you know, the more you practice,
the better you'll be.
I wanted to practice.
you want it. And see, the thing about recorder is I would know if they practice because I've been here with them all week and I haven't heard the beautiful tones of the recorder coming out of anyone's room. So, before we start today, I want to tell you a little story. Okay, so go back in time with me. Once upon a time, there was a little girl and her name was Emily. And Emily was about 2 or 3 years old, and she had a very favorite book. It was called Each Peach, Pear, Plum. And she loved to read this book so much, and her mom would read it to her all the time. Well, her mom was actually an elementary school teacher, and she was tutoring some students after school at their house. And Emily climbed up next to the students. She pulled out her book, Each Peach, Pear, Plum, and she started to read the book to them. Each peach, pear, plum. I spy Tom Thumb. And the students who were sitting next to her were saying, this little 2-year-old girl can read this book? How can she do this? This isn't right. Well, there was a secret to this story, and the secret was, maybe you guessed it, she couldn't read the book. She had just memorized it. So it sounded lovely when she read Each Peach, Pear, Plum, but then when she was handed another book, she opened the book, she looked at the letters, and she made up whatever story she wanted to, which was not the correct story that went with that book. So, what do you guys think? Can you guess the moral of this story?
Molly?
Could it be maybe that you shouldn't memorize a song because then you're not going to know how to play another song just because you memorize the fingerings of one song like hot cross buns?
Sure. Yeah. So last week, that's exactly right, Molly. Good job. Last week, we learned the 5 steps to sight reading, and we used them to play the song Hot Cross Buns. But it's actually really easy to just play it and say, this sounds right to me, right? And remember, we said that's called playing by ear. The problem is, then when you get to a new song, what's going to happen?
You don't know how to read it.
Especially when it's a song like Gently Sleep that you've never heard of before, right? Yeah. So, as much fun as it is to memorize a song and play it by ear, I want you to remember that story of that little girl trying to read the next book. It really wasn't helpful to her that she memorized the first one, right? And with recorder, I'm going to be honest with you, probably not that many people want to hear you play the recorder. Hard truth. But if you learn to read music using the recorder as your tool, you can take that knowledge to another instrument that people would be so happy to listen to, and they wouldn't say, please don't practice until I'm a few feet away from you, right? So that is our story for today, and I hope that y'all are going to stay committed to sight reading with me and also ear training as part of your musical education. So are you ready to use the 5 steps of sight reading today?
Yes, we are.
We're going to use it on our new song, Gently Sleep. Have you got your song pulled out already? Mm-hmm. Good. All right. So what is the first step to sight reading? Who can remind me?
Play the rhythm.
Incorrect!
Mine was right.
What did you say, Emily?
Read the rhythm.
The first step is read rhythms. That's right. Now, there's actually only 2 types of notes in this song. There are quarter notes and half notes. Quarter notes get ta, 1 beat. Half notes get ta, 2 beats. Okay? Yeah, our rhythm sheet fell down, so hope it's in your brain.
Good quiz.
That is something you can memorize. Okay? So we are going to read the rhythm of Gently Sleep today. Are you ready? And at the end, I'm going to ask you what you noticed.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So we're going to start with ta. Ready? 1, 2, here we go.
Ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta.
Keep going.
Ta, 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 ta.
Oh, wow. It was exactly right. So, do you notice anything about this song?
There are no rests.
There are no rests. Very good. Anything else did you notice about this song, about the rhythm?
It repeats.
The same.
What do you mean by it repeats?
The same rhythm. Every measure.
Every single measure is the same rhythm. Ta, ta, ta. And you might think that's so boring. A lot of good songs are that way. Repeating is actually a great thing to make a song stick in your head. Okay? Like Baby, 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 Our
catchy
Justin Bieber classic. So, we need to move on to step 2. Read note names.
Okay.
All right, there's 3 letters in this song. What are we going to say when we see that second line, a note on the second line?
G.
G. What are we going to say when we see a note on the second space?
A.
And when we see on the third line?
B.
Good. What's the note that comes after that?
A.
Oh, wow.
Then?
G.
Then?
A.
Good. Then what's next?
G.
Mm-hmm.
A.
Mm-hmm.
B.
Good. And then?
A.
Mm-hmm.
B. G.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, that last measure, A, B, G, is the trickiest one.
Yeah,
that's what messes people up. We haven't done that yet. A, B, G. Okay? Now look at the next line. Do you notice anything about it?
It's the same
as the first one.
You're right. It's exactly the same. G, A,
all the
B,
way through.
A, G, A. G, A, B, A, B, G. Okay? So if you can play the first line, you can play the whole song. You just have to play the first line twice. All right, so now we need to combine steps 1 and 2, read the note names in rhythm. Are you guys ready? We'll take it pretty slow to start, okay?
Okay.
All right, from the beginning. 1, 2, here we go. G, A, B, A, G, A, G, A, B, A, B, G. Keep going. G, A, B, A, G, A, G, A, B, A, B, G. Good. Anything we want to talk about before we do it again? Any questions or struggles? Yes?
That's hard.
That's hard.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the B to be on the G line, and I want the G to be on the B line in my brain.
Why?
I don't know. When I'm reading it, it just feels like what it should be, but maybe it's because last time we did BAG, so I'm just thinking.
That's a great insight. Yes. So far, you've mostly gone down BAG. This time, you're going to go up G,
Yeah.
B. Okay. So let's do the same thing again. Remember, if you do a step and you're not totally confident, we go back and we try it again.
Love that.
All right? Let's try it again. 1, 2, here we go. G, A, B,
Oh, shoot.
A, G, A, G, A, B, A, B, G. Keep going. G, A, B. Look ahead. A, G, A. Look ahead. G, A, B, A, B, G. Much better. Good. It takes a lot of brain power.
Yeah.
Okay, and remember what we talked about before. A great musician is always looking ahead to the next note. So especially with these measures that have a half note at the end, that's a really good time for you to be looking at the next note so that you're ready to say it. And now we're ready to add the fingering. Shall we? All right. Anne, can you please remind me, what is the fingering for a G on the recorder?
It is all 3 fingers of your left hand.
Yes. And what about your thumb?
Your thumb is on the back hole.
Good. So, thumb on the back and 3 on top. What about for an A, Emily?
2 fingers.
Yeah, so we have a thumb on the back and 2 on top. We're just lifting the ring finger off. And then what about for a B, Molly?
1 finger on the top and the thumb on the back.
That's right. So thumb on the back and 1 on top. Very good. Okay, so we're going to still do everything we did in step 3, but we're going to add the fingerings this time. Okay, so are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's see how we do. 1, 2, start with G. G, A, B. Good. A, G, A. Keep going. G, A, B, A, B, G, G, A, B, A, G, A, G. Keep going. A, B. Last measure. A, B, G.
I finished strong.
Good. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We are not going to do step 5 together today. We're going to split apart and we're each going to practice on our own. Okay? So for you, for my 3 students, this is true, and for you at home, you figure out which of these steps you need to keep working on before you go to step 5. It could be that you have the rhythm really well, but you're still getting messed up on the note names. It could be that actually the note names make sense to you, but you're still kind of struggling with the rhythm. Whatever it is, go back, work on those steps, and then when you're ready, you can move to step 5 to play. So this is called independent practice, and we're going to go ahead and do that now. Ready, students?
Ready.
Yes.
Okay, so you need to move somewhere else and practice on your own. Okay, so exciting. These 3 students of mine all individually passed their yellow belt.
Woo.
And you guys might think, oh, okay, well, they're adults, so that was easy. But I just want you to know that they are really being risk takers doing this.
It
right,
was not
you guys?
easy.
It's hard.
It was not easy.
Yeah.
And it's not only that it's hard to train your brain to read music, it's also hard to do something out of your comfort zone. So I'm really thankful for you guys for doing that. So we're going to try doing a victory lap,
Woo.
playing it all together, Gently Sleep, everybody's favorite. And we're going to do it on that same steady beat that we were doing earlier, okay? Are you guys ready? 1, 2, here we go. So beautiful. I'm proud episode, my Yellow Belt Recorder rock stars. I hope you were playing along at home, and we'll see you next time for episode 6 of Roommate Recorder. We're going to be working on some ear training next time. So we're going to test a new part of our skills to get our ears cleaned out by then. All right, see you next time, guys.
Bye, friends. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Time to gently sleep.
Night,
It's time for your naps.
Night, night.
Roommate Recorder. Did you get messed up because you heard another recorder? Just imagine if there were 20 other recorders in the room with you right now.
Can I do it one more time?
Yeah.